My in-laws had a beautiful teak patio set that had been outside for almost 10 years. Originally a rich golden brown when it was bought, it had weathered to a dull silver gray, and the wood had started to develop rough patches and small cracks where the surface fibers were lifting. A furniture restorer quoted them $900 to sand. The entire set, clean it, and refinish it with marine-grade sealer. Before they agreed, I showed them a $2 teak oil approach that works beautifully for most outdoor teak. A weekend of work, about $30 in materials, and the furniture looked noticeably better. The gray had lifted, the natural color was visible again, and the surface felt smooth. Let me walk you through why teak weathers the way it does, why full restoration is usually overkill, and the simple oil approach that maintains teak beautifully. First, let's talk about teak. It's a tropical hardwood prized for outdoor use because it contains natural oils and silica that resist water, rot, insects, and fungal growth. Teak doesn't need to be finished to last outdoors. Untreated teak can survive decades of weather without structural damage. What changes is the appearance. When teak is freshly milled, it has a rich golden brown color from natural oils visible at the surface. Exposed to sun and weather, the surface oils oxidize and wear away. The surface color fades through honey brown to a silvery gray patina. Eventually, the surface can develop a weathered texture, with raised grain, small cracks, and a rougher feel. Many people find the silver gray patina beautiful. It's the classic weathered teak look, and in some cases, it's preferred over the golden original color. But many others want to maintain the original warmth or restore furniture that has weathered more than they like. Traditional restoration approaches include sanding the surface to remove the weathered layer, applying teak cleaner and brightener chemicals, and then applying sealer or teak oil to lock in the color. Professional restoration runs several hundred to over $1,000 depending on the pieces. The $2 approach uses standard teak oil or tung oil, available at hardware stores and online. A quart of quality teak oil is about $15 to $20. Though teak oil applied to freshly cleaned wood is really the $2 per application cost when spread across many applications over the years. Here's the approach. Step 1. Clean the teak. Weather and dirt accumulate on the surface over time. Starting with a clean surface is essential for the oil to penetrate and protect properly. For light cleaning, a scrub with soapy water works. Dish soap and warm water applied with a stiff brush, rinse thoroughly. For more substantial weathering with dark gray surfaces, use a teak cleaner product. Most teak cleaners use oxalic acid or similar compounds that lift the weathered surface and expose the lighter wood beneath. Apply the cleaner per product directions, usually wet the wood, apply cleaner, let sit for 5 to 10 minutes, scrub with a stiff brush, rinse thoroughly. Let the wood dry completely for at least 24 to 48 hours before proceeding. Step 2. Sand if needed. For surface that has raised grain or rough texture after cleaning, light sanding smooths the surface. Use 120 or 150 grit sandpaper. Sand with the grain, not across. Focus on rough areas. Don't oversand. The goal is to smooth, not remove material. For heavily weathered pieces, coarser sanding might be needed to reach good wood. Start with 80 grit, progress to 120 and 150. This is more work but essential for badly weathered surfaces. After sanding, wipe the surface with a tack cloth or damp cloth to remove sanding dust. Step 3. Apply teak oil or tung oil. Teak oil is typically a blend of natural oils, varnish, and solvent designed specifically for teak. Tung oil is a natural oil from the tung tree that provides good penetration and durability. Apply oil in thin coats. Use a lint-free cloth or a natural bristle brush. Work with the grain. Apply generously, then wipe away any excess that doesn't soak in within 15 minutes. Excess oil that sits on the surface will get gummy. Let the first coat dry per product directions, typically 4 to 24 hours. Warm, dry weather speeds drying. Cool, humid weather extends it. Apply a second coat, then a third if the wood is dry and absorbent. Between 2 and 4 coats is typical depending on the oil and the wood's absorbency. Step 4. Let the final coat cure thoroughly. The oil needs to fully dry before the furniture gets regular use, usually 24 to 72 hours for full cure. Step 5. Enjoy the restored appearance. The furniture should show its warm golden tones again. Surface texture should be smooth. The wood should feel nourished rather than dry and weathered. For ongoing maintenance, apply teak oil annually or more often if the furniture is in heavy sun exposure. Just clean the surface first, lightly sand any rough spots, and apply fresh oil. The process is faster than the initial restoration. Store furniture appropriately for your climate. In winter, cover outdoor teak if possible, or move to a covered space. Complete freezing and thawing cycles in wet conditions are hardest on the wood. Clean periodically during the season. Hose off to remove dirt, bird droppings, and debris. Don't let organic material sit on the wood for extended periods. For heavily used pieces like chairs and benches, more frequent attention extends appearance. Tabletops that get food spills warrant immediate wiping. for specific scenarios. For teak furniture that has gone full silver gray and been outside for many years, significant work is required to restore the original color. Expect to sand more, clean more, and apply more oil. For very weathered pieces, full restoration might require more time than you want to invest. For teak that's been painted or coated with polyurethane or varnish, remove the coating first with stripper or sanding before applying teak oil. Oil doesn't penetrate through other coatings. For teak boats or yacht decks, specialized marine teak products, and more frequent attention are required due to the harsher environment. For teak indoor furniture, the treatment is the same but less frequent. Indoor teak doesn't weather the same way and needs much less maintenance. For mixed wood outdoor furniture, like pieces with some teak and some other wood, use appropriate products for each wood type. Teak-specific oils may not be ideal for other woods. For antique or valuable teak pieces, consult with a conservator before applying modern teak oil, which may affect historical value. A few honest notes. Teak oil does need reapplication. Unlike a permanent sealer, oil maintains the teak but needs to be refreshed. Some people prefer to let teak weather naturally to silver gray and avoid the maintenance altogether. Both approaches are valid. For teak that has structural damage beyond surface weathering, like loose joints or cracked slats, the wood restoration is cosmetic only. Address structural issues separately with appropriate repair techniques. For teak that has mildew or mold on the surface, a mild bleach solution or specific mildew cleaner helps. Follow with teak cleaner before oil. For teak that has paint splatter or other contamination, appropriate removal before oiling. A mineral spirit cleaner or specific paint remover may be needed for contamination. The economic comparison: $15 to $20 for teak oil, $15 for teak cleaner if needed, $5 for sandpaper and cloths. Total, under $50 for comprehensive DIY teak restoration and years of maintenance oil versus $900 for professional restoration. The DIY approach maintains teak beautifully for a fraction of the cost. One more tip. For teak that's been badly neglected, and you're considering whether to restore or replace, try the cleaning and oiling approach first. If the wood responds well, you've saved significant money. If the wood is so damaged that oil doesn't help, you've learned that replacement is the right choice. For investment in new teak furniture, understanding the maintenance commitment helps. Teak requires periodic attention to look its best. Budget for annual oiling as part of ownership. For alternative outdoor woods, some products mimic the look of teak without the maintenance. Eucalyptus, acacia, and some synthetics offer similar aesthetics with less upkeep requirement. And for the people who prefer the silver gray patina, no maintenance is required beyond cleaning. Let teak weather naturally and enjoy the classic look that develops with time. If your teak has been looking tired and you've been considering professional restoration, try the oil approach first. Clean the wood, light sand, apply oil in a few coats, a weekend of work, $50 in materials. The improvement is usually remarkable, and you've learned a skill you can apply annually going forward. Teak is a remarkable wood that rewards basic care with decades of service. For a few dollars and a weekend,